New Right Network. Mobilizing, countering the left, energizing the right. New Right Network, home of the New Right movement.
You get the mic on. Good evening, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to New Right Network tonight. Your host, Brian Smith, giving you all the breaking news of the day, wrapping it all up, making sense of it, exposing the fake news, giving you the real news. And I'm running solo tonight again. It's all good. We go live every Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Crush the share, crush the like, hit the follow if you're on YouTube, hit the bell, subscribe and hit the bell, and share this with your friends and your family. This is the real news media, folks. This is where you're going to get it. And today was just like any of those other days where I do all the show prep, I get everything ready to go, and I'm like, okay, this is what the show's going to be about. And if you're looking at the thumbnail for the show, Time 100. So yes, Time Magazine has now released their 100 influential people of the year. Let me check that audio. Yeah, take that down a little bit. 100 most influential people of the year, and you should see the pictures. And it's, folks, it's out of control. There's the fake news. It's hitting hard. We're also going to talk about the awful war that's going on. The war down on the border. And when I say the war on the border, what I'm talking about is I'm talking about the Islamic invasion coming up from Mexico, the illegal invasion coming up from Mexico. And we're also going to talk about the sleeper cells in America already, that the FBI and the CIA, they're already monitoring them. They're already watching them, and nobody's talking about that. Except right here on New Right Network tonight. We're going to get into that. But again, like I said, I thought the news was going to be the news. And this is what it was going to be. And no big deal. And we're going to run with it. Well, lo and behold, good friend on Twitter, at a Red Pill Report, posted up a video from YouTube. The video from YouTube goes into great detail. It's about 28 minutes long. And if you go over to my Twitter account, at Brian P. Smith, go over there. It's pinned to the top of my page with the link for the full 28 minutes. At a Red Pill Report, the stranger than fiction news, hashtag breaking. Notre Dame chief architect says this was no accident. Hashtag Wednesday wisdom. The full 28 minutes. Click here for YouTube. Yes, we talked about this yesterday. A lot of details to come out that we were waiting for, and this is it right here, folks. This is out of the news. Nobody's going to talk about the cathedral coming down. Nobody's going to discuss it anymore. It's old news. Let it die and move away from it. That's what they're going to do, and we're not doing that. So take a look at this real quick to start the show and listen to what is going on.
Detectors. They had security personnel on patrol on top of the workers. And that's another thing that's rather interesting. They say the workers were gone before this fire broke out. So workers were gone, which means that more or less anybody could have snuck up in there and started this fire after the workers left the building. There's no telling who left the device that set this cathedral on fire. But according to testimony from the chief architect, the fire did not break out in a location where renovation work was occurring, first and foremost. So it couldn't have been an accident because of some kind of welding, some kind of rogue spark that, lit some kind of log on fire or something like that. I don't know how people are imagining this fire, beginning. But there's a lot of conspiracy theories about a welder's spark or maybe some blowtorch that was left unattended. There was no renovation work happening at the location where this fire began, and they know exactly where this fire began because of the security system that was put into place. Now we can see the timeline here of the evolution of the fire. Again, 6:20 was when the first alarm went off. The fire department showed up, and they sealed off the area. They evacuated everyone. They found no fire, according to reports at 6:20. 30 minutes later, however, another fire broke out. The alarms went off. The fire department was already there, and the fire was allowed to basically progress unmolested, ladies and gentlemen, into the tragedy that we all saw unfold on television. So the question is, how did this fire spread from its initial starting point to where it ended up? And that's a very interesting question, to say the least. Now, in this footage here, you can see that the fire is actually spreading in the direction against the wind. It's actually going upwind. Ladies and gentlemen, this is rather remarkable. So the fire starts here, approximately at the spire, in a location where no construction renovation activity was actually occurring. And then,
and if you look at the clip there, for those of you audio only, we're looking at a still picture of the cathedral on fire. One arrow points to the left, fire spreading in the direction of the accelerant, and another arrow to the right, the wind, and right in the middle, fire started here at the main steeple. So yes, you can see the wind is blowing the smoke clearly to the right of the picture, and you can see the fire is clearly moving to the left of the picture. France is already gone. I don't know what to say much more about France. You guys, back in World War II, the Maginot Line didn't work. And for those of you who don't know the Maginot Line, named after, I think it was a General Maginot, they decided after World War I, they would set up these very expensive turrets with guns outfitted with men and all kinds of weapons. And they would set these concrete underground bunkers all down the border of France and Germany. Tens of millions of dollars to do all this in prevention so that Germany would never come into France again. And lo and behold, Germany didn't even, Maginot Line, not even one shot fired. Germany went ahead, went to the south, picks up Austria, and Austria said, yeah, please, lift us out of our poverty. And so Hitler did that and more, went around the Maginot Line and attacked France from the back. All the Muslim attacks in France, over 850 some churches have been attacked in France. All the violence that is coming from nothing other than the mass migration of a completely different culture, Islam, into France. I can't beat a dead horse enough. This is exactly what's going on. We need to realize that this is what's going on and understand that the influx of the Islamic faith from these cultures, these some cultures are better than others. I'm just saying, these cultures are not compatible with Western cultures whatsoever. Now we have on full display our newly elected Muslim politicians just running amok in Congress and unchecked. And we also know there's more reports, but we've reported this before, that Omar meeting with Erdogan, the president of Turkey, closed door meetings. This is really, really bad when we have our politicians meeting with other Muslim, Islamic states, if you will. Turkey attempt a coup a couple of years ago. The generals and some of the military personnel did not like how the country was turning Sharia law for the most part. And so it was a coup. It was a violent coup. It was over the weekend and done and gone out of the people's minds. Everybody connected to it, hung up, shot, killed. Newspaper outlets rounded up all kinds of newspaper individuals, writers that they thought might have been connected, those jailed and murdered as well. So Turkey, suppress and get rid of the problem and keep people enslaved. And that's what we're seeing on display. I don't know what more to say about France other than it's pretty much too late. I don't know what else to say. And it's heartbreaking because this is on full display. We need to talk about this all the time. We need to bring this up all the time, that Islam cannot exist. And those people with those bumper stickers on the back of their cars that say coexist. No, all those symbols have existed with each other for thousands of years. except Islam. Go all the way back as far as you want to go to the beginning of Islam, founded on violent hate and anger to eliminate all others, if not converted. Pedophilia accepted, all the evils. And I tell you what, being a Christian and looking into this thing really deep, looking into this and listening to some other folks who are professionals, who are masters at the language in the Quran and able to translate that into English perfectly. There's no misunderstanding. If the devil had a religion, it would be Islam. That's it. The dark side is Islam. The way they treat and the way they force their women to dress, to behave, to act. Slavery. Flat out slavery. That's incompatible with anything in the Western culture. And we're seeing the overtake in France. We're seeing it overtaken in London. You're having problems now in Spain. Italy walled the border to shut the borders down. Italy sending migrants back. There are, out of the small fraction of percentage of illegals or migrants coming into Italy, 1 in 5 are arrested for violent criminal acts. And they're just a fraction of a percent of the entire Italian population. Italy just now elected their version of Donald Trump. God bless them, and hopefully that they can stay a nationalist type country to where they hold their values, their Christian values, and not be overtaken and forced to believe something or be murdered. In this time, hashtag Time 100. Today it came out, Time Magazine is naming their top 100 or 100 most influential people in the world. Trending all morning. I wasn't going to do anything with this, but then I saw what they were doing. I got to expose this fake news for what it is. This is absolute propaganda coming from mainstream media. The lying, the opportunists that are the Democrats, the Hillary Clintons, the Kamala Harris, all of them taking advantage of this situation to lie, totally lie about their Democrats that have been named as on the list of the top 100. And it just, Hillary Clinton, it's just absolute pure insanity. She's out there talking about this, but let's go down the list real quick. And, okay, I tweeted this out. This blew me away. This is why I went down this rabbit hole. Folks, sometimes they get me. When I'm thinking I'm out, they just keep pulling me back in. And this is what got me back in. Dag damn it. All right, here we go. Okay, I tweeted out to Time Magazine, who did Elizabeth Warren, did the comments for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She was nominated as a top 100, or she was placed as a top 100. And my response to that was, in all caps, you couldn't be more wrong. AOC is Justice Dems, a radical leftist agenda, holding all the power with Soros and the likes. That was in response to this. Elizabeth Warren, on AOC. Her commitment to putting power in the hands of the people is forged in fire. No, man, they ain't forged. No. What? This is insanity. This is complete nonsense. And for those of you who are new to the show and you may not know, and I'm running into a lot of people that have not heard of this, and forgive me if you've heard this before, but I'll make it real quick. Justice Democrats, a couple of guys who was working in the Bernie Sanders campaign, very politically savvy. They ran an incredible campaign for Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders should have won, but powers that be said, no, this is for Hillary. So those guys, thoroughly upset, met up with another guy who used to work for Open Borders, George Soros organization. They got together and they decided to go ahead and have a casting call. They according to them, to their own videos, according to the founders and according to the people who perpetrated this, they claim they interviewed over 10,000 possible candidates, which to me on face value seems, that's a lot of people to interview. That's a whole lot. Maybe they got 10,000 applicants and then, weeded them out. But out of the 10,000, they found 79 that fit their bill, that could act as an actress or an actor, that was a radical leftist, that absolutely could fit the bill of their agenda. The George Soros, the leftist, the radical, the rules for radicals type leftists. And out of the 79 candidates, they ran against all Democrats who have been lying to their people and have been gaslighting everybody and have never done anything. They ran against those Democrats. Out of the 79, 24 primaried their own Democrat. 24 that primaried, 7 of them won. Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib. Those are the 3. There's another Muslim that had won, a gentleman that had won. These are all hardcore radical Islamists that are good with the overthrowing, the overtaking of America. And Elizabeth Warren, beyond dishonest and ingenuous by saying her commitment to putting power in the hands of the people. This is the gaslighting. This is what's happening right here, right in front of us. Fake news all day long. We also have Kamala Harris, who couldn't help herself. And these are the radicals. Kamala Harris running for president of the United States. She's going to have a lot of problems. There's a lot of bad back history with Kamala Harris. There's some issues going on with, first off, her dad blasted her and said that our family, we were slave owners. Our families, we had slave owners in our family. And so that's not going to go over very, very well with the voters, that Kamala Harris's family owned slaves in Jamaica. Her dad absolutely ridiculed her for attempting to make some kind of slur about Jamaicans and smoking weed as inappropriate. Also, her dad became very wealthy because of capitalism. There's nothing wrong with that. She's against it 100%. Folks, you can raise your children, but you can't. Once they turn 18, they're going to make decisions on their own. Cross my fingers, pray every day that God takes care of my kids and let the Holy Spirit dwell within them and guide them after they leave the house. But this Kamala Harris, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford's sacrifice, out of a sense of civic duty, shined a spotlight on the way we treat survivors of sexual violence, forcing our country to reckon with an issue that has too often been ignored and kept in the dark. I had to respond to that. There's no question I had to respond to that. All caps again. I'm very fired up. Got a lot of coffee in me this morning. She lied to the world at the DNC, hashtag time 100. You should be ashamed of yourself. Hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. We don't need to go down the road of Christine Blasey Ford. We know she's a flat out liar. Why she has not been prosecuted for lying to Congress is beyond me, other than the fact that those are one of those things that's a sword you don't want to fall on. That's the only thing I think of. You don't want to fall on that sword. And then some more comments out of this. Beyonce commented on Michelle "My Belle" Obama. And for those of you, I'll put the picture. Well, here, I'll put this up real quick so you can see the thumbnail. If you didn't get to see the thumbnail at the beginning of the show, this is what it looked like. Time 100. I put Ocasio-Cortez right in the middle. You see Christine Blasey Ford just as big and Photoshop. The wrinkles are out. The texture's just right. The color's just right. And then you see Nancy Pelosi in the background in the shadows. She's touched up just right. And then to the right of that, you see Brett Kavanaugh. Very serious, almost angry looking, adjusting his tie, looking down with lights, shooting up his face to make it look very sinister. This is what time put these pictures together with these comments that individuals made. I can't even begin to tell you how dishonest and disingenuous this is. This is nothing short of propaganda. And again, Beyonce commenting, I am so grateful that my daughters and my son live in a world where Michelle Obama shines as a beacon of hope who inspires all of us to do better and be better. I don't know where to go with that, y'all. I don't know where to go with that. The mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, on Jacindarden, at JACINDAARDERN. That's the prime minister out in New Zealand. So the Muslim mayor of London, who's having an incredible time allowing Muslims to run free and do whatever the hell they want in London, he writes for the nominee of Prime Minister of New Zealand, when terror sent ripples of fear through the communities around the world, New Zealand's Prime Minister proudly stood up for hope, unity, and inclusiveness in the face of fear, division, and hatred. And again, let me show you this one more time for those of you who didn't see it. To the far left, you see the Prime Minister right there from New Zealand after the Muslims were shot by a crazy left-wing nut job who embraced China and communism and hated Donald Trump, hated nationalism, hated what Muslims were doing to his society, whatever. Okay? Nobody claims him. He's a crazy nut job. She donned on the hijab and embraced the Muslims in her country, and then swiftly wrote in and passed through law the ban on weapons similar to the ones used in the shooting in the mosque. Yeah, Islam has now conquered New Zealand. Forget about it. It's all over with. Now we also have this one out. At Jordan Peele calls director Spike Lee a visionary and trailblazer, a provocateur, and a true American original. No, I'm sorry. An American original is not a racist. Racist people who hate other racists are not American originals. Sorry, not here, folks. And this Hillary Clinton at Speaker Pelosi is living proof that when it comes to getting the job done, more often than not, it takes a woman. So now we go from racist to sexist. Democrats on display for 2020. Democrats showing that how racist, how sexist, bigoted that they are right here on display. And this one, so I started going through the list of the individuals that were on the most 100 from Time Magazine. And this took a long time. It took a couple of hours. And I had to pick some of the best because I didn't want to make this the whole show. But I had to pick some of the best. And this one just stood right out at me. This one is just so blatantly obvious. And I had no idea who they were, so I had to look into them. And at AILBHE Connolly, she is a 9 News reporter. All views expressed here are my own. So she's a news reporter from Channel 9 News somewhere. And she tweets out about these two women who were nominated, Time's most influential women in the world. Co-directors of Together for Yes, Ali Behe, Smyth, and Orla O'Connor. No relation to us. It seems like a typo. No relation to us. Along with founding member of Abortion Rights Campaign, Griffin, have been included in the Time 100 list most influential women or people in the world. My response to that, hashtag Time, abortion rights is murder. Margaret Sanger, quote, helped kill black babies before they came into the world. Hillary Clinton, abortion up into the birthday. Governor of Virginia, the KKK and black-faced governor of Virginia. So you know he's racist. He's racist. I mean, that's what they do back in college. Murder after botched abortion, okay. And Planned Parenthood, that's PPFA, Planned Parenthood on Twitter. We get paid more for fully intact fetus. Fetuses, hashtag DNC, hashtag BAA, because I ran out of space. But that was the Born Alive Act, which no Democrat signed. Yes, that is correct. Born Alive Act. If you are born alive, by law, you should be given every opportunity to live. Yep. Democrats did not want that. Democrats didn't want anything to do with that whatsoever. So, yeah. We have abortion rights or baby killers on display. And then a couple of other ones I thought was kind of quirky or odd or whatever. I was like, okay, now the list isn't all, they say bad or bad. They actually had like-minded individuals write a paragraph about the person who is on the list. So that's why you have Hillary Clinton writing for Elizabeth Warren. That's why you have Sadiq Khan writing for the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Beyonce writing for Michelle Obama, Warren Buffett writing for LeBron, Kamala Harris writing for Blasey Ford, and who wrote for AOC. This I found kind of interesting. Rod Rosenstein, dirty dog Rod Rosenstein, still got a job. Man, he's doing good. This guy's a salesman from hell. I'm telling you. This guy's got a silver tongue. Have you ever seen the movie Devil's Advocate? Oh, my goodness. You talk about a lawyer. Rod Rosenstein still got his job, still convinced Donald Trump and all the FBI to keep him, or all the DOJ to keep him. William Barr, now the Attorney General, sits down with him, writes the Mueller report, which is out tomorrow. Do not miss it. Be back here at 7 o'clock. We will review the Mueller report. We'll also have some great articles that will be written about it from New Right Network, newrightnetwork.com. The big tent party, if you will. This is the writers and the speakers, the ones that are making the big change here in America to take back our country. MAGA, America First, and Keep America Great Again, minded individuals. And so Rosenstein writes the one on William Barr, makes the list of 100, which certainly right. And they got Rod Rosenstein to write it. He tried to keep his job. He's kissing the boss's butt. He writes, he knows the history. He understands the issues. He respects the employees. And he will defend the principles. With Bill Barr at the helm, the rule of law is secure. Hashtag Time 100. That just might be enough for him to keep his job. But he's one hell of a liar. I'm telling you. And this Governor Chris Christie. I don't know who decided to pick who, but I feel like they're trolling us by picking Chris Christie with the hug heard around the world, Barack Obama, that literally helped to turn the tides in 2012 with the help of, Mitt Romney throwing in the towel. Chris Christie writes the one on Donald Trump. Donald Trump makes the 100 most influential people on Time's list. Chris Christie writes, the president's supreme confidence in his own ability to persuade others to make a deal is now the basis for American denuclearization policy towards North Korea. That's the Nobel Peace Prize right there. That's Nobel Peace Prize right there. That's all I got to say about that. And this is shifting gears. Shifting gears, going to illegal immigration, going to the jihadist camps in America and Islam coming up through the border. Voter rights are being attacked. Our rights are being attacked whenever illegals vote or when you have a rush of fake votes, dead people voting. For every one person that's dead that votes, cancels out my one vote. We only have one vote. Scott Presser doing a phenomenal job in Pennsylvania, signing up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of new voters and teaching other people a duplicate process to garner more votes legally and legitimately, and do it and staying in touch, building your own database and keeping in touch with these individuals in your local area. You being the linchpin to the voters in your area, just a phenomenal way to help serve your country. This was tweeted out. I don't know how I came across this. I have no idea. But I want to give a heads up. There's a really brilliant writer for New Right Network that's writing an article on this. And I talked with him and I gave him a heads up and I said, I looked into this. This stuff's no good. So check this out. This is coming out of Tennessee. This is out of Tennessee. And new video, keep voter registration legal despite protest. Tennessee House Republicans passed HB 1079, which would make it the first state to criminalize voter registration efforts. Just 6 months after Tennessee Black Voter Project registered 90,000 new voters. The Senate awaits, and I'll keep the sound down kind of low here, but you can hear them chanting in the background. Keep voter registration legal. Keep voter registration legal. Keep voter registration legal. In less than 6 months, they were able to register 90,000 voters.
It's definitely happening because of the efforts in 2018. The last thing our legislators want to see is a group of African-American people inspiring other Black and brown communities registered to vote. Keep voter registration legal.
Okay, keep voter registration legal. Okay, first off, they're attacking Tennessee House Republicans. So that's a red flag to throw out there. Okay, they're attacking Republicans, and they're Black, and they're saying that their organization is Black Voter Project. That's racist inherently. The name itself is racist. That you are targeting a group based on their skin color is racist. This woman leading the organization, claiming that these old white dudes, these old white Republican dudes, are suppressing her votes and their votes. I did not read the bill, but I went to their website and I started looking through it. There's a lot of leftist, left-leaning propaganda that they have on their website. This is a propaganda group. This is very disturbing that this is out there in this capacity. We need to mobilize. Folks, I'm going to have to play on your harpstrings a little bit. NewRightNetwork.com, Smyth.tv. We are new in the sense of joining together. There's a new partnership along with Wayne Dupree coming on board as a new partnership. If you want to get the real news out, if you want to keep seeing this information so that you can pass it on to your friends and family, you have got to go over to Smyth.tv. Become a Patreon, patreon.com/Smyth Radio. The buttons are there. You have to go buy something. You have to get involved somehow so that we can continue to bring you this information on a nightly basis. Again, Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Crush the like, crush the share. Tell your friends and your family about this. We're up against the globus with the likes that I've never seen before. Now, granted, social media is able to get this to us very, very fast and in a timely manner. So we're getting more information than we've ever seen before. And this by some of the brilliant writers over at New Right Network. And this is what you're also going to get out of New Right Network. You're going to get great writers, those who write incredible articles talking about real issues of the day. So you don't have to worry about the New York Times, the LA Slimes. You don't have to worry about these outlets feeding you garbage and you're wondering where you're supposed to get your real information. Breaking news. I just got an article from the Washington Times. AK-47 toting migrant smuggler sparked a deadly shootout with ICE. Folks, I do this for you. This is breaking news right in the middle of a live show. That's what I love about going live. You break news. I pay for a subscription, or we pay for a subscription to Washington Times so that we can get the news as fast as possible. And this by Washington Times as we're speaking about illegal immigration. And AK-47 toting smuggling illegal immigrant opened fire on ICE agents in Phoenix last week, sparking a shootout that left another member of his smuggling gang dead, according to court documents detailing the latest episode in what authorities say is growing violence in illegal immigrant. The incident has drawn scant national attention, and U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and federal prosecutors have been tight with details, saying the April 11 shootout is still under investigation. I didn't hear about this. I mean, I heard that there's problems down on the border. I know there's a shootout, or maybe I might have heard a shootout, but nobody's talking about it. Holy smokes, folks. All right, so here's the article from New Right Network. This is where you can get your real information. Our show is also, it propagates here at newrightnetwork.com and also smyth.tv. Touch of love. Illegal aliens head to sanctuary cities after President Trump suggests sending migrants to sanctuary cities. Democrats showed their true colors. It is time to show them some tough love. Myrna, on April 15, 2019, wrote this article. She's one of the newest writers. She's out of Hollywood, California. I've talked with her. She's an incredibly energetic, great-minded individual that is just absolutely welcomed on the team. Her type of energy is excellent. We love that kind of stuff. And this another article written from some of the great writers at New Right Network. Come to the front door of America's border. President Trump threatens to close the U.S. southern border with Mexico to protect the American people is on hold. Mexico is now cooperating. Will Congress? This by Fred Warner, written April 6, 2019. Great minds. I love these incredible articles from some of these young folks that are coming on board. We are in an era right now to where we have at our fingertips the ability to work with each other in collaboration. Some of you who do this as a profession with your business, you can collaborate on ideas from different cities, different parts of the world. We are able to collaborate in real time and share information from all parts of the world. Wayne Dupree on one side, us here in Cincinnati. You've got these folks, some in California, some on the East Coast, the West Coast, the middle of America, some in Texas, all coming together with New Right Network to bring you the real news. And let's see, let's do this one. They're questioning whether Trump has the authority or not to send illegal illegals to sanctuary cities. And if you're looking on the screen, you see this at Stephen E434574444. Stephen Emerson _ veteran. Trump has the authority to stop all immigrations. This by 8 USC 1182. Whenever a president finds the entry of any aliens or of any class of aliens into the United States would be detrimental to the interest of the United States, he may, by proclamation, and for such period as he shall deem necessary, suspend the entry of all aliens or any class of aliens as immigrants or non-immigrants, or impose on the entry of aliens any restrictions he may deem to be appropriate. There you go, folks. Right there, Donald Trump has all the power in the world to do and protect our border. I never thought anything elsewise. You just got the Democrats screaming and yelling about this. And we like to promote our friends here that put up real news, great information, video clips, and one of my favorites, good friend of ours right here at Julie, REICHWEIN 1. I follow back MAGA. That's a fact, folks. She follows you back. You follow her, she'll follow you back. And this is the video that she had posted.
But President Trump is challenging Democrats to put their money where their mouth is and accept illegal immigrants in sanctuary cities. But the same Democrats who pushed those policies are slamming the idea.
It's illegal. It's immoral. It's unethical. It's sophomoric. It's petulant. And it's par for the course.
That was Gavin Newsom out of California because they've got problems with illegal immigration.
So why do Democrats refuse to stand by their own policies? Here to debate it is former consultant for the Department of Homeland Security, Mustafa Tamiz, and Republican strategist Kimberly Klacik. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We certainly appreciate it.
Good morning.
So, Mustafa, I'll start with you. So what's the deal? I mean, sanctuary.
Okay. So I thought that clip went on a little bit longer, but I guess it didn't. So yes, Donald Trump does have the power to do what he's doing. And it's funny how Democrats are now screaming, don't bring him to my town. Don't bring him to my town. However, as this is a good one right here. This is staying with the same theme of Democrats saying, don't bring him to my town. This by at Katrina Pearson. And I know Katrina Pearson. She's a great individual and a good friend. Katrina Pearson on Fox News. Democrats aren't willing to play ball with POTUS and left him with no other choice but to push forward his new sanctuary cities proposal. This by at Echo the Call.
Ground on this newest immigration proposal.
And senior advisor to the Trump 2020 campaign, Katrina Pearson, says he has no choice because Democrats refuse to act.
He brought into the Democrats didn't want to play ball. We got to the end of last year, and the president was wanting to make some significant changes because of the first caravan that was on the way to our country. And the Democrats said, oh, no, there's nothing going on here. Just to get elected, they lied to the American public about the issue. President wanted to shut the government down to get to the bottom of this issue, to bring people to the table. And guess what? They did nothing.
That's right.
And now we have tens of thousands of more people along the way. And so the president says, OK, fine. We are going to send these asylum seekers to the communities that say we want asylum seekers. And it is the compassionate thing to do to resettle these immigrants into communities that want to protect them and keep them safe.
There you go.
The number of illegal border apprehensions and inadmissible asylum seekers has increased by more than 50,000 from this time last year.
So they're showing a graph last year was 50,347, March 2018. March 2019, 103,492. If you don't think this is an absolute invasion of our southern border, you just might be a liberal. And now we got some good news. Not all Democrats, not all, are angry about what Trump's wanting to do. Not angry about what Trump's wanting to do about sending illegals to their sanctuary cities. This by at true_pundit, Chicago mayor-elect Lori Lightfoot says she will welcome shipments of illegals. Well, there you go, Lori Lightfoot. You can have them. I don't know if they'll survive the cities of Chicago, but you can have them. And good luck with that. City of Chicago, wow. And why is there such a crisis on the border? Take a look right here. This by at CBP, the Border Patrol. Officers seized 304 pounds of alleged methamphetamine worth $6 million. That was concealed within a commercial shipment of honeydew melons at the Farr International Bridge Cargo Facility. Yes, that's what we're dealing with. A good friend of mine who is battling with an addiction to methamphetamines and other drugs. Keep him in your prayers. Just refer to him as Brian's friend. Brian's friend, keep him in your prayers. Pray for him all the time and his family. He's got 2 beautiful daughters and a wife. Very, very difficult situation. So let me put this up. Today I scoured the internet looking for this video, and I couldn't find it, but I wanted to get a better audio for it. I think this video has been scrubbed from the net, but this at Michael Beatty 3 exclusive Border Patrol emailed this video to Maria Bartiromo, and the audio is a little rough, but the video shows a nighttime vision and shows the people, illegal immigrants crossing the border at night.
As Customs and Border Patrol released this stunning footage, this is exclusive footage that we got last night at the border in El Paso. It shows migrants crossing the border illegally near Tucson, Arizona. This video comes to us exclusively this morning from the Customs and Border Patrol out of Tucson, Arizona. And you see 980 people were apprehended. This was just yesterday. And they've got this on video of people coming out of the truck and just entering right there over the border.
You heard it right. 980 people arrested overnight, being told. We've got video footage of them being told. They say that in their country, the woman from Honduras said that they were business owners and they get the shakedown from the gang members if they don't pay them, run out of business. So her husband, her brothers and sisters and uncles and aunts and a whole flock of them were watching on TV come to America for a better life. Opportunity awaits in America. So they sold everything to come to America. This is what we're dealing with. This is the globalist ideology of the world. We've got to crush capitalism, crush freedom, crush America by infiltrating, because we can't do it with a war. Globalists are all over. You can't say, okay, the globalists unite and go to war with America and conquer. No, that's not this day and age. We're in a whole new era. You don't conquer people with war anymore. You conquer people with innocent, less educated, and in some cases, violent animals that are MS-13 gang members. And you pay them a decent amount of money or enough money to go ahead and wreak havoc on another country. I mean, we're seeing it all over Europe, and now we're seeing it come to America. This stuff has got to stop. Thank God for Donald Trump being in office, because this would have been out of control under Hillary Clinton. And again, our good friend Scott Pressler, an illegal alien, was arrested for raping a 7-year-old girl in Culpeper County, Virginia. Democrats did this. You let him in. How many more little girls have to be raped before you'll actually care? And for those of you that are rape victims, you understand that something like this, you can shed the victimhood mentality and you can work through this and become a better person. But this changes the entire trajectory of your life. especially at 7 years old, the amount of help that she's going to need to overcome this and get her mind right because of the Democrats allowing this to happen is beyond question. I have no words for these individuals. And this, again, I can't help it. At a Red Pill Report, we were talking today, and he helped me get that video out that you saw earlier. At the end of the show, I'm going to go ahead and replay that video clip of the truth of what happened in Notre Dame, what happened with the cathedral, the truth that happened. And he tweets out, "The media is diverting your attention from the 35 known jihadi camps in America. You should be asking why." sonsoflibertymedia.com. Absolutely why? Because that's how they're going to take America down. They're going to take America down from within. Lenin knew it. They knew that they were going to conquer America, and the only way to do that was from within. Oh, and now that we've got Muslims in our Congress, and we've talked about this before, and we'll just keep bringing it up until you guys understand. This is a report on Ilhan Omar retweeting. Ilhan caught on record asking for leniency and compassion for 9 men trying to join Islam.
Men is set for next week in Minneapolis, but a newly elected official is asking for leniency.
Minnesota Representative-elect Ilhan Omar wrote a letter to the judge asking for compassion instead of decades of prison time.
And Fox 9's Karen Scullin joins us now with what she had to say to defense attorneys and U.S. Attorney Andy Lugar. Karen?
Well, defense attorneys are asking for leniency, but so are several others who filed letters to the judge on behalf of the defendants. But U.S. prosecutors responded tonight with strong arguments why all of them should, in fact, receive the recommended sentence.
Okay, and we're running out of time. Man, an hour goes fast. We got Wayne Dupree coming up right after me. Wayne Dupree comes up at right after me at 8 o'clock. So
from the chief architect, the fire did not.
I'll play that clip real quick to show you what really went down, what really happened with the cathedral. And again, you're watching New Right Network tonight. That's our show, New Right Network tonight, Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Jump over to Smyth.tv. Help us, help America, help us, help Donald Trump to continue to make America great again. Keep America great with real news. The Real News Network, getting it out and exposing the fake news. And again, I'm going to leave you with this clip out of, and thank you again at A Red Pill Report, good friend, for getting the real news out about what happened. And here you go, everybody, and have a good night. I will see you tomorrow for Thursday Thoughts.
They had security personnel on patrol on top of the workers. And that's another thing that's rather interesting. They say the workers were gone before this fire broke out. So workers were gone, which means that more or less anybody could have snuck up in there and started this fire after the workers left the building. There's no telling who left the device that set this cathedral on fire. But according to testimony from the chief architect, the fire did not break out in a location where renovation work was occurring, first and foremost. So it couldn't have been an accident because of some kind of welding, some kind of rogue spark that, lit some kind of log on fire or something like that. I don't know how people are imagining this fire, beginning. But there's a lot of conspiracy theories about a welder's spark or maybe some blowtorch that was left unattended. There was no renovation work happening at the location where this fire began, and they know exactly where this fire began because of the security system that was put into place. Now we can see the timeline here of the evolution of the fire. Again, 6:20 was when the first alarm went off. The fire department showed up, and they sealed off the area. They evacuated everyone. They found no fire, according to reports at 6:20. 30 minutes later, however, another fire broke out. The alarms went off. The fire department was already there, and the fire was allowed to basically progress unmolested, ladies and gentlemen, into the tragedy that we all saw unfold on television. So the question is, how did this fire spread from its initial starting point to where it ended up? And that's a very interesting question, to say the least. Now, in this footage here, you can see that the fire is actually spreading in the direction against the wind. It's actually going upwind, ladies and gentlemen. This is rather remarkable. So the fire starts here, approximately at the spire, in a location where no construction renovation activity was actually occurring, and then spreads through 800-year-old oak, which is impossible to set on.
You've been listening to New Right Network, mobilizing, countering, energizing. Online at newrightnetwork.com.